Hello, I'm Dr. Becky, and I'm so excited to talk to you more about these positive lifestyle changes that actually work and move the needle. We call it the power of tiny changes using the bucket analogy. So, I want you to envision your health, your energy, your overall vitality like a bucket. And the more full our bucket is, the better our health is, the better we feel. And there are things in our lifestyle that fill up that bucket. And there are things in our lifestyle that can cause holes in our bucket, creating leaks of energy and leaks of vitality. I love this analogy so much because over the last 17 years of working with people, whether that was one-on-one with patients when I was in clinical practice, or just helping people in our community, and of course now helping members at OsteoStrong, I found that the easiest ways for people to make changes that actually last was through simple, tiny changes. And most of these tiny changes also address inflammation and stress levels, reducing cortisol. So those are the two biggest contributors to health challenges today. So it's a beautiful thing. But although these are tiny and simple, they're very specific strategies that I found actually work. Things that are actually easy to incorporate, actually move the needle and have a profound impact on how you feel day in and day out, along with improving your results at OsteoStrong. And the beautiful part is you only have to start with one to see improvement. So let's talk about covering our nutrition bases, which is where you wanted to start. So sometimes up-leveling your nutrition or nutrient intake, either through diet or supplementation, is the easiest place for people to start. We're going to focus today on the top 4 in relation to bone health specifically. These are the foundational nutrients, the building blocks, if you will, the materials that must be present for your osteoblasts, your little workers, to use to build that strong foundation and increase bone strength. So the first 2, calcium and vitamin D, the dynamic duo, if you will, especially for bone health. Calcium is the mineral that makes your bones strong, and calcium needs vitamin D to absorb it into the body, to get it out of the digestive tract. So the two go hand in hand. And the amounts that you need of each vary with age. But calcium specifically, you need it every day. You need about 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams total per day, both through your diet and supplementation, in order to get enough for bone health. However, one of the biggest challenges with calcium is that your body can only actually absorb and utilize about 500 to 600 milligrams at a time. So a lot of people will tell me they take their calcium in the morning with their breakfast, and their breakfast is yogurt or a bowl of cereal or oatmeal made with milk. Well, the problem with that, you guys, is your body's going to absorb that calcium from your diet before it ever absorbs that calcium from your supplement. So if you've got 300 or 400 milligrams of calcium in your breakfast, or 500 or 600, and you take that calcium supplement, you're not going to absorb any of it. The other challenge is a lot of calcium supplements out there is 1 time a day, and it's a dosage of 1,000 milligrams or 1,200 milligrams. Well, if you're taking that with your breakfast, you're not going to absorb any of it. But even if you're not taking it with a meal that has calcium, you're still only going to absorb half of that at best. So just know you need to split those doses of a calcium supplement at least 4 hours apart. And you also need to be aware of what you're eating if you're taking that calcium supplement with a meal. So you can also take too much. You can't have too much dietary calcium because supplements or minerals absorbed through your diet, it just works differently. But you can take too much supplementation wise. So no more supplement wise than 1,500 milligrams a day. Vitamin D also, you need it every day. It's called the sunshine vitamin, but of course we're in the Northern Hemisphere, so we don't get the sunshine like we need to. The other challenge with that, with vitamin D, is if you're wearing sunscreen, including makeup or facial moisturizer that has SPF in it, that blocks your body from producing vitamin D. So if you're wearing sunscreen, or even if it's dead in the summertime and you're out mowing the yard or you're on the beach with your kids or your grandkids and you have sunscreen on, you're not going to produce vitamin D. So the general recommendation for the average person is 2,000 IUs per day in supplementation form. Like I had already said, sunshine alone is simply not a reliable source, not in the Northern Hemisphere and not with sunscreen. And a really cool part about vitamin D is research is showing every day some new stuff comes out. It's very cool that vitamin D benefits nearly every system in the body. Most notably bone health, but also immunity are the two biggies. But there is every system in the body, the hormone health and all kinds of stuff. I could go on and on about this, as you can tell. But we're going to move on to protein. Protein is something most people don't associate with bone health. If people think about protein at all, it's usually in the realm of muscle health. But protein is essential to maintaining the structure of all connective tissue. That includes skeletal muscle, but it also includes heart muscle, blood vessels, skin, ligaments, tendons, your intestines, all of your connective tissue. And bone is no exception to that. Bone is actually 50% protein by volume. So protein builds the bony matrix, if you will, the house for calcium to be deposited into. So even if you're taking enough calcium, you're getting enough vitamin D, but you're not getting enough protein in your diet or through supplementation, there's nowhere for that calcium to attach to. There's nowhere for that calcium to rest, even if it's being shunted into your bone tissue. So protein is essential. And how much? So about half of your body weight in grams a day is minimal calcium consumption. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you need about 100 grams of protein a day. Optimal, especially if you have bone health issues, conditions like osteoporosis or osteopenia, optimally, you're going to get 70% of your body weight in grams per day. So again, if you weigh 200 pounds, you need 140 grams per day. And then omega-3 fatty acids or fish oils. These are very, very powerful anti-inflammatory compounds. It's very difficult to get enough of these babies in your diet alone. So I always talk with people about supplementation with these. If you live on either the East or West Coast and eat a lot of fresh fish, getting enough omega-3 fatty acids through diet alone is a little bit more realistic. But I can tell you that of all the patients I worked with and people in our community and even and now members here at OsteoStrong, I don't know that I met one person, myself included, that was getting enough omega-3 fatty acids through diet alone. So supplementation is essential with omega-3 fatty acids. You need about 2,500 to 3,000 milligrams a day in a combination of EPA, which I kind of dub as the body anti-inflammatory, and DHA, or what I call the head or the brain anti-inflammatory components of those fish oils. So I hope this information was helpful. And I know that nutrition is incredibly intricate and complex. So what I can say is, generally speaking, is that by starting with these building blocks, just these 4 building blocks, you can slowly add in more changes as you become less overwhelmed and confused and just kind of start learning more. But if this is an area that you're interested in learning more or interested in specific supplementation or specific recommendations, especially for bone health, please let your session coach know at your next session. All of the session coaches at OsteoStrong are trained in foundational nutrition and foundational supplementation, so don't hesitate to ask them, pick their brains. Again, I sincerely hope this information was helpful and not too overwhelming, and you're ready to implement this change. We'll be holding you accountable each week. And if you have any questions, like I said, or you're struggling, be sure and just visit with your session coach at your next session. But also, if you know anyone or have a friend that might enjoy this video or could benefit from this information, please don't hesitate to share it with them. Forward the video, forward the email, sit down and visit with them, watch it together. It would be incredibly, it would be an honor if you shared this with any of your family and friends. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day.